Hey, welcome to the Contractor Sales Academy podcast. I'm El Tomasio Reber. I'm with Derek and Steve. What is going on, gentlemen?
Living the dream over here.
Beautiful day, and the stock market is roaring back. So all
So
good.
Steve's like, counting his money right now, man. That's good stuff.
It is making money again.
Hell yeah. So, guys, today, I know we don't have a lot of time. We're actually just crammed with stuff that we all have going on. And so we got about 10 minutes here, literally. And Derek, you and I talked about something last week where I think I said to you, my big fear with this whole virtual sales thing being the sexy flavor of the month right now is that all these guys are going to now take their shitty sales habits that they were doing in the yard or in the house, and they're just going to get on a Zoom call or a FaceTime with somebody and start puking all over them. And you go, yeah, dude, it's just like puke TV. and so and I spoke to a group today where I was like, same thing, like this is the flavor of the month. We've been teaching this for 6 years, and here's a few things I want to share with you guys that are crucial to having success, because right now you're adding stress to yourself and the client by going, here's a Zoom link. 99% of the people on planet Earth don't know how to download the damn app on their phone or on their computer, and then there's the lighting issues that have to be right and all this, that, and the other thing. Yet we are ahead of the curve here where we're literally just teaching guys to use a telephone. So how do we avoid puke TV? For those that are listening right now that want to go, hey, this is the virtual sales revolution, I'm going to get on this. What are some things that come to your mind to make sure that they're not just getting on the screen like you and I, three of us are looking at each other right now and going, blah, I'm really awesome?
But my first thing that's popping in my head is process. You have to have a sales process, but then now you're going to have a process to set up the link. You're going to have a process to have the conversation with the customer to help them understand how this whole new world is going to work. And then once you do that, if you don't have a sales process, you're going to throw up on them because you're just going to go blah, 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 me. This is how great we are. This is all our credentials. This is all of our, because now you don't have all those other things to hide behind. You're literally going to be right in front of the person in their space, in your space, and you've never done this before. So if you don't have a process put in place, you're going to screw yourself. Your sales are going to go down. So I could go more and more, but I'm curious to what Steve has to say. For me, it's process. We have one, and what are they going to do when they start puking on people? Steve?
So I just sent you guys a text. So pull up my text, but you're right, Derek, it all starts in the process. You actually have to have a game plan. And I have a whole board in my command post where I actually do all my sales. I have a board right in front of me that I can stare at that can see every question I need to be asking, every moment I need to be pausing, every 5-step process, the whole Shin Fu. I got it all in front of me. And I get in the right frame of mind, and I just look at this wall as I'm talking, and I make sure I'm asking questions and shutting up. I'm asking questions, I'm shutting up. I know before I go into this exactly the 5-step process I'm going down to get to the bottom line, which ultimately there's only 2 bottom lines. You either collect a deposit check via credit card right then and there, okay, or you determine they're not going to be your customer.
Right.
And I know the ending before I even have the beginning. Everybody else that's listening to us right now, they have no ending. They're just going to go out and puke. And if you start this online stuff, you'll just be puking on the computer instead of puking in their backyard or at the home.
So let me get this straight. So our viewers didn't see the text you sent us, but I looked at it, and Derek looked at it, and it's this wall that you talked about. And I look at things like you have on here every, 6 questions to ask every process. You have, Shin Fu's named after you, Steve. You have the 5 steps Shin Fu sales process card with the steps listed there. You got some mindset things. You got our Shin Fu tree of life. You have, I see the off to the way right there, the webinar or the phone call debrief thing with the schedule and all this other stuff. dude, you're the guy that this is named after. Can't you just wing it? Why aren't you just winging it, Steve? I mean, we named this thing after you. You're like the god of the Shin Fu. You spoke it into existence on the seventh day. All right. And yet, Derek, seriously, I'm looking at his wall going, like, if I'm the inventor of the thing, do I really need all that? So Steve, what gives, man?
I get thrown wrenches. We all do. We get thrown off track. I talk to a lot of prospects that are actually smarter than me, and they've been buying for as long as I have, and they can throw me for a loop. And yes, I can wing 80% of it, but that ain't good enough, man. I need a quick answer and a quick response, or a quick dead silence at the right moment to turn the tide. Quickly, this whole thing, this process we're talking about, and Derek is a freaking master at this himself. This is like my last name is Shinholzer, and Derek made all this up, and it comes from the Kung Fu, the David Carradine TV show Kung Fu, because every time anyone throws us an objection or curveball, just like the Kung Fu, we can raise our hand and we have a way to combat the objection. We have a way to overcome the objection, overcoming the curveball. That's exactly right. And we are well practiced, just like a black belt in the martial arts. We have that much time and energy invested in our craft. And so I got a wall of defenses, a wall of deflections, a wall of, it just reminds me, in case I get stuck, I can just look up there and go, oh, okay, this is what I need to be asking. And it just appears and it's there.
I have an opinion why Steve does this. And
Right.
what we're doing, step one, the motive in our Shin Fu process is to understand what the other person needs from us. And how we do that, we can't throw up on them. It's not your typical sales process. The motive is literally, it's the counseling side. We're having to make ourselves be someone that we never were before, where we're truly engaged in the other person and asking them questions and shutting our mouths so that we can take down the information. As contractors, as salespeople, we were never trained to do that. We were trained to sell. Here's our stuff. Here's how amazing it is. Check this out. That's not really how this works. Mm-hmm. People are inviting us into their space, literally, virtually, into their homes now. So it's not just that, it's 6 foot social distancing happening outside the door. Like, this is getting very, very personable. And if you don't make it about them, you're going to lose.
Then it's just puke. Then it's just puke TV.
It is. So now Steve has to have those reminders, which I appreciate, because he's going, okay, I know what I naturally want to do, because Steve, you've been in business for 40 something years. You've trained yourself over 40 years to do a certain thing. The last 5, you had to go, okay, I can't do that shit anymore. So you have to have those reminders. Me, I obsess over this stuff. So you can see, I mean, the viewers can't see, I don't have my walls, but this is just where I focus. And I spend a stupid amount of time on this going, make it about them, make it about them, make it about them, listen to them, shut your mouth, write stuff down. But when I write it down, I have to know how to respond. That's the major difference. We can share all this stuff with you, teach you all the psychology, but until you actually do this with other people, you're just still puking. I mean, this is the fast and furious on this podcast. We could go through all kinds of details, but guys, you got to learn another way. The old way is not going to work anymore.
The only way to avoid puke TV is to practice. Actually role play and practice. It's a thing everybody wants to do the least. Get with another contractor and one plays a customer, one plays a contractor, and then you switch. You actually role play these things, and it makes you practice questions, makes you practice shutting up, it makes you practice your process. And once you have focused practice, then you can become a master. But if you don't have focused practice, you're just winging it. And you know what? That's why you're listening to us now, because you're winging it. Ain't been working out that great so far. Capiche?
Absolutely. Well, I know this is fast and furious today. So, guys, if you're listening to this, don't be throwing up all over your prospects. Okay. Learn to shut your damn mouth, ask questions, make it about them, and practice like we've all said here. With that, we appreciate you guys hanging. Please share this with another contractor. If you want to learn more about the Sales Academy, head to contractorsalesacademy.com/demo. You can book a demo, see what's under the hood, learn a little bit about what's going on. And I guarantee you that we have people here that can help you get better if you're willing to put in the work. So with that, you guys have an awesome day. We'll catch you next time.